Hey guys, so today's video is all about your sun salutation. You may also have had this being called a Namaskara A or even a Surya Namaskara A. They are often typically found in an ashtanga, bikram or vinyasa class. And they basically are a series of poses put together into a flow designed to heat your body, typically done at the beginning of the class, and also improve your flexibility and strength while on your mat. If you learn this off by heart, there's only a few poses in it, then you can then go off onto your own and do as many as quickly or hold into each of those poses for as long as you like. They are so amazing. You'll feel buzzy afterwards. You've had a good workout and then you can just get on with the rest of your day. So I'm gonna come through onto the mat and I'm gonna take you through just one sun salutation so you know what it is, you know those poses, and then I'm gonna break it down and spend a little more time in each of pose so it can give you some more alternatives. So I'm gonna head on over to the mat. I'm gonna come through one to begin with. So I'm going to stand at the top of my mat and I'm going to take a nice deep breath in, lift the arms above the head. Exhale, I'm going to tip from the hips, lower down into my forward fold. Inhale to rise, take a halfway lift. Hands to shins. Exhale, I'm going to step it back into my plank. Don't worry, I'm going to slow this down in a little bit. I'm just showing you what one is. Lower down to your mat on an exhale. All downward motion in your yoga practice is on an exhale. As you inhale, lift heart space into a nice heart opener. Tucking those toes, exhale, push it back into your down facing dog. Lovely, bending through those knees, we're going to step forward, back up to where we just came from. Inhale to rise, halfway lift. Exhale, send it low, forward fold. Inhale to rise, big sweep of those arms, so just reversing the way we came down. Exhale, taking those hands through your heart space. So that is a Namaskara A. Typically, we repeat those 3 to 5 times. And now I'm going to slow it down a little bit and explain each pose a little more, what we do, and also give you a few little variations if you want to make it easier or harder. So I'm going to come back onto the mat. First pose here, you want to try and keep your feet around hip distance apart. And you're going to activate your bum. So you're going to squeeze through the bottom, you tuck the tailbone underneath the body and push down into the mat with your feet. Then we inhale, reach for the ceiling. So really reach, feel the stretch into the side body. On your exhale, you tip from the hips, so like a hinge as you come down, making sure we're not locking out those knees. Just take a soft bend through those knees, come all the way down. Don't worry if your hands don't reach your mat. You can take a ragdoll, so hands come to opposite elbows and just fold down there. If you want to work a little harder, you can wrap the arms around the backs of the legs, nestle that chest down and look back towards the back of your mat. On your next inhale, we're going to lift into a halfway lift. So the weight pulls forward into the toes, the hands come to the front of the legs onto shins, stick the bum out behind you so you get a nice flat back. Again, legs are straight, you'll feel this into the backs of those legs. If you want to work a little harder and you feel a bit more open and hands come to the mat really easily, keep the hands onto the mat, same action, pull heart space through. Then we take a nice exhale to release, hands come down. You can step back, so traditionally we step back right foot first, then with the left. This movement here can also be done in a little jump through, into plank, making sure you're landing with soft elbows, so it's a nice soft release. From here, we release down to the mat. So if you're building your strength, release the knees, untuck your toes. With control, we lower heart space down to mat. So you don't just want to collapse and fall down here. You really want to stay with the upper body in control, even when the knees release from your plank. So release the knees, don't relax through those shoulders, keep them tight. Focus on keeping your elbows brushing your body as you lower down. This might take a little bit of time to work on. Try to avoid the elbows coming out wide so it's less like a push-up. All right, that's your first port of call. If you feel like you have that strength to be able to do that quite easily, you'll feel that into the arms, You can also take yourself down onto the mat without releasing those knees. So push down through the hands with control, lower the whole body to mat. Once you're down onto the mat, untuck your toes, engage the bottoms, squeeze through the bottom and pull the heart space through. Be mindful of the shoulders lifting up towards the ears. Try to draw the shoulders down naturally. And don't worry here if you feel a little lower. Keep those elbows in. You're going to feel that into the arms. Take a nice deep full breath. And then when you feel ready to, you're going to lift up, tuck the toes up and back into that down dog. There is another variation, which is called a chaturanga. Chaturangas are amazing if you have that strength and you want to take it to the next step after the releasing of the knees. So we actually hover the body off of the mat. The fronts of the legs and the belly will not touch your mat. So once you've stepped back, holding in your plank, and then we lower and hold the body. Again, elbows brush the body, we hold. Inhale, roll over the toes, see how my body doesn't soften. I'm strong, squeezing through the bottom, push down through the hands into my up dog, rather than position on the mat into cobra. And then roll over those toes and lift it into that down dog. That is definitely more advanced. If you struggle to lower yourself down with the knees down, you don't want to be moving on to your chaturanga until you have the strength, and that will build over time. Then you find yourself in your down dog. Soften your heels towards your mat, but never force them down because all wonky things can happen with the legs. More focus on the tailbone, tilt the bottom up towards the ceiling. That's going to give you a bit more space to relax those heels towards the mat. If the legs feel super tight, bend through those knees. Then focus on your upper body. Softening through those hands is a no-go. You want to really push the mat away here so you stay strong through those shoulders. Relax your head, look back towards the knees or even up into the hip creases. Take a breath. So then we reverse that. We come back up to the top of the mat. Bend through the knees, step forward. Traditionally right foot first, then the left foot to meet. Or once you feel a little more power, really take a nice little hop or a little jump and come up between those hands. Inhale, halfway lift, just as you did earlier, hands to shins or fingers to mat, and then exhale to fold. Inhale to rise, engage the bottom, squeeze through the bottom, reach those arms all the way up, and take those hands to heart space. I'm going to come through one silently with a flow so you can see what they look like, and you can use this video to really help build your confidence and build the sun salutation. And that is your Namaskara or sun salutation explained to you. I really hope that video helped. Sometimes in classes it can feel quite rushed and each practice is completely different as well. So enjoy your time on the mat. Try not to expect too much of your body too quickly. Every time on your mat is completely different.